Attack on Titan Final Season Part 3, Part 1 is coming. Again, really? With the last season being somewhat disappointing due to the animation quality, but very much awesome due to, well, being Attack on Titan, I'm here to tell you all you need to know about the final season of Attack on Titan. The last episode of Attack on Titan ended in chapter 130 of the manga, which means that the final season will only cover 9 chapters. A small recap for those that don't remember. The final episode ended with an army of colossal titans heading towards Marley, which means the real fun's about to begin. The Wall Titans continue on their path of destruction. Ramzi and Halil, 2 refugee children, join crowds of civilians and refugees trying to flee a seaside town, only to be surrounded by the Titans climbing through the mountains. As the Titans annihilate the town and its inhabitants, Eren reflects on his interaction with Ramzi around a year ago, regret for his inability to change the future, and his tearful apology towards the boy. He reminisces about his childhood, when Armin regaled him on the world beyond the walls, before a younger incarnation of Eren declared the sight of the outside world as the ultimate freedom. Through the paths, he inquires an adult Armin about his opinion. But this isn't all. With Annie snapping him out of his vision, Armin finds himself back on the ship, underway to Odiha. He and Annie talk about why he kept seeing her while she was trapped in her crystal. Armin confesses his feelings for her, but Annie concludes it's because he's a good person. Armin corrects her assumption, referring to himself as a monster. Despite that, he still retains optimism that somewhere out there could be the better world that he and Eren dreamed of as children. The ship arrives in Odiha and the Azumabito engineers begin repairs on the flying boat, so the Survey Corps and Warrior Unit can chase after Eren. The city has been abandoned, and by now most of Marley has been destroyed. Yelena believes Eren is heading for Fort Salta at the southern end of the country. Annie decides to part ways with the group at this time and stays on the ship to look after Gabi and Falco, who are being left behind. Before they can leave, Flock Forster reveals himself and damages the fuel tank to the flying boat, forcing them to stay longer than anticipated and putting them in danger of being overtaken by the rumbling. Hanji decides to be the one to stay behind and names Armin the 15th commander of the Survey Corps. Thanks to Hanji's sacrifice, defeating enough Wall Titans to buy them time, the Azumabitos are able to finish repairs and fueling, allowing the Survey Corps and warriors to take off. The flying boat heads for Fort Salta, and Armin holds a meeting to plan their confrontation with Eren. He only wants to kill him as a last resort if dialogue fails. However, Eren pulls all the Eldians on the flying boat into the paths to inform them that his mind is set, and the only way to stop the rumbling will be to stop him from breathing. On the ship heading towards Hizuru, Falco sees a memory from Zeke, which he attributes to the fact that he first became a Titan through the use of Zeke's spinal fluid. He believes he can use knowledge from this memory to make his Jaw Titan fly. Elsewhere, near Fort Salta, the Eldian refugees from Liberio are hoping to steal an airship to escape the rumbling. But before they arrive, the airships begin lifting out of the fort to attack the approaching Titans. The Marleyan military makes its final stand against the advancing Wall Titans, using a squadron of airships from Fort Salta. The fort commander intends to bombard them from on high, but a surprise movement from the attack Titan causes him to prematurely begin the attack. The Beast Titan forms from the Attack Titan's spine and attacks the airship with repeated volleys of debris that break through their hulls and canisters of explosives. It single-handedly destroys the entire squadron. The refugees who had hoped to escape via airship fall into despair. But the flying boat carrying the Warrior Unit and the Survey Corps arrives. Low on fuel, Onyakompon refuses to leave the plane and pledges to get them close enough for the combined team to jump. Armin calls out the Beast Titan as their target. On the way down, Reiner transforms into the Armored Titan to protect the others from the Beast Titan's barrage. But let's pause for a second for a word from today's video sponsor, Tokyo Treat. If you're like me and you love Japanese culture and food, but you can't travel there anytime soon, Tokyo Treat is just for you. Tokyo Treat is a monthly pop Japanese snack subscription box. You'll get up to 20 of the latest, most exclusive limited edition and seasonal flavored Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan for a limited time, like Sakura Pepsi, Japanese sake Kit Kats, ramen, and much more. With Tokyo Treat, you can enjoy original Japanese treats from the comfort of your home. My personal favorite was, like always, their instant noodles. They are so tasty, and every month you get to taste something new. Their sweets are amazing too. So if you're a Japan fan like me, you should head over to Tokyo Treat with the links in the description and use my code AnimeHero to get $5 off for your first box, as these boxes are a perfect way to experience Japan for yourself. Check the links below. Don't forget, the best way to support me is to support my sponsor. So you get to have amazing new treats each month and help me produce more of the videos you like. It's double the goodness. As the Survey Corps grapple onto one of the founding Titan's spines, and Peak Finger lands as the Cart Titan carrying a belt of explosives. Armin steels himself to transform into his Colossus Titan, having realized the defeated Beast Titan was a dummy, but is swallowed by a Titan. Before the group can rescue him, an army of previous incarnations of the 9 Titans materialize on Eren's back. Outside Fort Salta, Onyakompon is left unconscious by his crash landing, and the Marleyan general orders his soldiers to fire on the Titans. Peak Finger goes to detonate Eren's nape, but fails when her Titan is skewered by a Warhammer Titan. Inside of the Titan, Armin despairs, as he realizes Ymir must also wish for mankind's eradication. Meanwhile, the Titan's assault on the group overwhelms them, and they scramble to save one another while their strength and gear fails. As Mikasa prepares to make a last stand, the group is whisked away by a winged Titan. The soldiers are greeted by Annie, who expresses that she could not stay away after learning of Falco's ability. The team regroups on the back of Falco's Flying Jaw Titan and decide to head back for the 2 members Falco was unable to rescue, Armin and Peak Finger. They split into 2 teams. Reiner and John Kirstein land near the front of the founding Titan, where Peak had been impaled by a familiar Warhammer Titan. She is able to break free on her own though, and joins the fight to hold off the Titans long enough for Jean to reach the detonator, though the odds look grim. Towards the other end of the founding Titan, Annie, Mikasa, and Connie Springer form the second team, and begin pursuit of the Titan that swallowed Armin. It's the only Titan that runs away from them, while the others on the Founder's back continue to block them. Inside the Titan, Armin is frustrated by his inability to get his body to move, knowing that everyone is likely to die without his help. In his despair, he notices the ground is actually sand and he's in the path. While he ponders how best to make use of this, he realizes he's not alone. Zeke is here and says he's also been eaten by Ymir Fritz. Zeke and Armin converse in the paths about the nature of life and how, in her fear, Ymir Fritz managed to escape to a world without death. Zeke doesn't believe escape is possible, and that it's pointless since to live also means to eventually die. However, Armin speaks about personal moments that are precious to him, even if they're not in the service of continuing their species, and Zeke realizes that he also has moments like those that he cherishes as well. This leads to them meeting several previous Titan inheritors who passed away before them, and they chose to connect with those they're closest to before requesting their help. In the outside world, some of the Titans change sides, with Bertolt Hoover, Ymir, and the Gilliard brothers Titans moving to protect Reiner and Annie. Mikasa catches up with the Beast Titan that had eaten Armin, and with help from Gabby Braun, manages to cut him free. John Kirstein grabs the detonator and triggers the explosives to blow off the founding Titan's head, and Reiner tackles the centipede-like spine that emerges, trying to reconnect with it. Falco picks up most of the team on his Flying Jaw Titan, save for Reiner and Armin, and clears the area so Armin is free to transform into the Colossus Titan and destroy the Founder's body. Mikasa experiences a headache as Falco lands at Fort Salta with the surviving Survey Corps and warrior units on his back. The rumbling appears to be over, but the centipede that emerged from the founding Titan has survived, and so has Eren. Reiner moves to tackle the centipede while Armin holds off Eren. The centipede emits a gas that covers the fort and the Eldians around it. Recognizing the danger, Levi gets Peak Finger and Mikasa back on Falco so they can escape before the gas transforms all the other Eldians, including members of the Survey Corps and the warriors' families, into Titans. The Titans join the centipede to fend off Reiner, who receives help from Peak and Annie. Meanwhile, Falco carries Mikasa and Levi towards Armin and Eren. Mikasa experiences a life in paths where she and Eren ran away from the war with Marley, and he asks her to forget him when he dies in 4 years. In the real world, Mikasa decides that she will not forget him, and directs Falco and Levi to take her to Eren and open a path through the mouth of his Titan. When Levi creates an opening, she lands inside and kills Eren while bidding him a farewell kiss. After Eren's death at the hands of Mikasa, many of his former comrades from Paradis Island began recalling memories of him visiting them that were erased due to the power of the founding Titan. Armin recalls how they discussed Eren being responsible for killing a vast majority of humanity during the Rumbling, and reveals his true feelings about Mikasa, wishing to be able to live with her and the others in peace. In the present, Armin notices his Titan form dissolving into steam and spots Mikasa approaching with Eren's head. He mourns his best friend's death, and while Mikasa leaves to bury his remains, Armin approaches the Marleyan troops with the other Eldians and claims responsibility for the death of Eren. Several years pass, and peace talks have begun between those living in Marley and the island of Paradis, which has begun mobilizing an army for the time when Marley and the other countries seek their revenge. As Mikasa sits beneath the tree where Eren is buried, she thinks about him and notices a bird flying to her. The bird picks at her scarf and adjusts it before flying away. As the years go by, Mikasa raises a new family before passing away. Afterwards, Paradis is destroyed by war, and many countless years later, Eren's colossal tree is rediscovered by a wandering child.